I'm Chef Jasper, and today we're in the kitchen preparing a traditional German cabbage that I'm going to serve with some pork schnitzel that you'll absolutely love. The red cabbage is actually rotkohl. That's how it's pronounced in Germany, and it's very, very simple to make. Now, if you've ever had sauerkraut, you're thinking maybe too sour, but this one, along with the apple cider, gives it a nice sweet flavor. In addition to that, I like to add some apples to this, but we'll talk about that. So, start off with a little bit of oil in the pan. Of course, we're going to add our onions. And let's cook those down until they're almost translucent. Because here, we're looking for flavor. Now remember, if you add salt to your onions, they're going to cook down a little quickly, a little more. But you got to remember, when you add salt, it takes out the water. And we don't want to add any salt right now to this. A lot of traditional recipes call for adding salt, but I really don't. I think the vinegar is going to make up for that. All right. Leave this alone and just let it simmer and kind of caramelize those onions a little bit. So at this point, the onions are just cooked perfect. I'm going to add my cabbage. And of course, reduce it down with some apple cider. And some cider vinegar. Now, sweet and savory. And this is going to cook pretty quickly. You'd be surprised how quick this cabbage cooks down. Give it all a good stir. And believe me when I tell you, don't worry about adding more cider because it's not going to hurt it. The vinegar, it may affect it just a little bit if you add too much vinegar. But boy, that cider, it's a great tool to use for reduction. Look how quickly this is cooking down in less than a minute at this point right now. But we'll continue to let it cook down. In the meantime, while it's cooking down, we're going to add, here's a thing that's going to kind of maybe a little confusing. Mustard seed, it's fantastic, but I also like to add a little bit of the ground mustard seed. And then, of course, our mustard seeds. And here we go to finish it up. Some brown sugar or honey, whatever you like. What a great finish and addition. This is going to be just perfect with our schnitzel or as a side dish with any of your fall recipes. Oh, the flavor. I can't wait to taste it. And the smell in this kitchen, wow. And now it's time to make the pork schnitzel. This is a true German and Viennese dish, but oh, so delicious. And it's not difficult. I want to make sure you understand that. So let's get started. And let's really do a little breadcrumb mixture right now. You're going to absolutely love this. First of all, we need to crack a few eggs. And along with these eggs, of course, we're going to put a little bit of milk in here. Just enough to kind of get it going a little bit. Now, I like to season my egg mixture with just a little touch of salt. Of course, we're going to need a little bit of flour because we're going to dip the pork chops in the flour first. And our breadcrumb mixture right here, which are seasoned with some salt and pepper. Now, some people like to put a little parsley in here. That's up to you. Now, let's talk about breadcrumbs. I'm just using plain breadcrumbs, but don't be afraid to use panko breadcrumbs. Boy, I'll give it a nice crispy outer surface. All right, we have that mixed. Let's get our pork chops in. Boy, are these beautiful, aren't they? Let's put a little bit of flour on them because, first of all, when you flour them, just like this right here, the egg wash will stick to it. Makes a little sense, doesn't it? But I'm going to put the egg wash in our bowl now so it's a little even and easier to actually bread. All right. Now, just a little more salt right on top and a little touch of pepper. Turn these over. And at this point now, we're ready to actually bread and put into the frying pan. Look at that. Is that easy or what? And kind of coat those sides because I have the egg wash on there. Reserve that one. Put this in the breadcrumbs also. And we're just about ready to saute in some olive oil and get a beautiful, nice, crispy coat on the outside and a medium rare inside. And that's it. We're ready to start sauteing. Let's put a little bit of olive oil in our saute pan. I say a little bit. You kind of just need to coat the bottom. And we'll place these pork chops right in there and begin to cook our schnitzel. Now we want to brown it on both sides, so give it about 3 or 4 minutes before you turn it. And at this point, let's turn our chops. Look at that beautiful coating on these. Just so easy to prepare. Now, I know it's a schnitzel, but when my mama prepared this, she used to put a little bit of cheese in the breadcrumbs. So it's up to you if you want to add that. It's just like the apples in the red cabbage. It sure makes a difference. But we want to stay traditional right now. Lower your heat on this. We don't want to make them too crispy. And just let them cook down a little more. Well, now it's time to plate our dish. The schnitzel, oh my gosh, just look at those. Just cooked perfectly. Now remember, a traditional schnitzel is pounded very, very thin. But you know what? They get a little too dry, so it's up to you, whatever you want to do. I like it like this. Maybe you want to go the traditional way. But I'll tell you one thing that is traditional. It's the delicious red cabbage. And don't be shy. Put enough on there because everyone is going to love that. And of course, we'll just get our chops, put them right on top of that. And I'm telling you right now, this is absolutely delicious. The flavors, oh, everybody's gonna love. Some different things I told you about, don't forget. Maybe some apples in your cabbage, maybe some cheese in the breadcrumbs. You can pound it thin if you'd like. But any way you look at it, a traditional schnitzel, and of course, the red cabbage. Absolutely one of my favorites and something I would be proud to serve my family. Brought to you by Hen House Markets.